r/today I f up. Today I fucked up by peeing in bed and flooding the apartment. I was enjoying a lazy weekend today, woke up late, had some food and went back to bed again. This time when I slept I had a weird dream in which I was peeing, but it turns out I was wetting the bed for real. As soon as I started peeing, somehow I woke up with a horror to realize what I was doing and managed to hold the pee and ran to toilet to relieve myself. Immediately afterwards I removed the bed covers and put them for wash in the washing machine and turned it on. This is where the major fuck up happened. The washing machine is kept in my other bedroom, which I mostly use just as a storeroom. The wastewater outlet from the washing machine is normally connected to drainage through a tube to the attached bathroom. But this washing machine I brought back yesterday after repairs and was kept in its normal place. I had connected its inlet, but the waste outlet was just lying on the bedroom floor. So the stupid that I am put the dirty bed covers in this washing machine and started the wash cycle and went back to bed. After an hour I wake up to see the entire apartment flooded with water from the washing machine. There was water in all rooms and kitchen, and I spent remainder of the day cleaning up the water everywhere. TLDR, peed in bed, put the dirty bed covers for wash without realizing the wastewater outlet of washing machine was not connected to drainage. Caused the apartment to be flooded. Today I fvcked up by saying my dad's tattoo is shit before I knew he already had it done. Before you read my story, apparently there is an April Fool's bot that pretty much deletes every comment. So I partially fucked up by posting today, not realizing what day it is. So my dad sends me a pencil drawing asking what do I think. Looked like a tattoo to be, and not a very good one at that. Also my sister got a tattoo recently, so I guessed my dad was also thinking of one. For some reason she chose to get it from our neighbor who is a scratcher at best, but her was a very simple design. The pencil drawing was of an animal, but T's eyes were wrong. The nose and mouth were slightly in the wrong place and the nose also looked like a pig's snout. Not wanting to be overly negative but sort of expecting where this was going, I wrote that if the picture is to be a tattoo, it's a 4/10 at best, being generous. I hoped either DLTHE design could be altered, or better yet I could persuade my dad to go get it from a real tattoo artist. I myself have a sleeve and a piece-only leg, and I'd never get a tattoo from our neighbor unless it were very simple. A realistic drawing of an animal, never. What came next surprised me. Right after me saying it is a 4/10, my dad sends me a picture where he already has the tattoo 80% done, AMD looking worse than on the sketch. Well, the damage is done, so I switch to being neutral about it and changing the subject to more general stuff. So we are cool, but I can't take back my initial reaction. I wish even my sister would have asked my opinion before they went to our neighbor. Their body, their decision, and I have a lifetime of ignoring and avoiding the subject in front of me, because I can't tell them what I honestly think. It hurt their feelings. TLDR, I told my dad the sketch of a tattoo isn't very good when he already had it almost done. Edit, please don't ask for pictures, I will not post them online. For one thing, I hate the thought of people making fun of my dad online, and also I value his privacy and anonymity. Just Google scratcher animal tattoo AMD, you won't be very off. Edit 2, sorry to all whose comments are being deleted. Based on the short bits I saw in the notifications, all seemed perfectly fine comments. The bots are going crazy, I guess. Can I do something to turn it off? I wrote to the moderators, hopefully I don't get banned out of spite. Edit 3, I guess some kind of April Fool's bot rolled out as soon as it was the 1st of April somewhere on Earth. Today I fvcked up by trying to be nice. Something from 2021 that reached ahead today. I joined a fan game project. Since I was in school for game development, I liked the franchise, and I liked the idea of working on a game. More practical experience can only be good, right? I wanted to handle the game's story. I ask. I'm given permission. Someone else had been suggesting things. I felt bad about hijacking the plot when they've been shooting out ideas, so I suggested we work together. That's the fuck up. Everything else that follows is because I didn't want to monopolize the plot and exclude them. We come to an agreement that I handle the plot, and they handle the setting. Sounds simple, yes. Somehow, even though the one in charge of the game's story was me, their job somehow included deciding the order in which the player travels the setting, which would obviously affect the plot. I point out that their job of working on the setting obviously doesn't include that job, and they aren't having it. We have differing ideas on how the plot should work. I try to find some sort of middle ground. I'm in charge, but I see you want this, so how about this idea that tries to incorporate some of what you want? Not having it? So I eventually have to just say this is going nowhere. You aren't listening. We're doing this. A few of those decisions included things they wanted, instead of me just completely throwing everything out. A lot of heated discussion. Them trying to dictate the plot even though that's not their job, and me trying to compromise and find a middle ground to no avail. Eventually we come to some sort of middle ground. I have final say on the plot. They can make suggestions, and I'm free to shoot them down. They have final say on the setting. I can make suggestions, and they're free to shoot them down. I believe I even conceded them deciding when the player goes where so they'd finally stop complaining about it. That agreement will be relevant later. I've seen next to none of their work on the setting thus far. The only ideas I've shot down are the ones where they're overreaching their bounds. It's impossible for me to have broken the agreement when I'm just exercising that final say on the plot and not overriding them having final say on the setting. They then proceed to disappear. Last summer, we try to touch base and see if they can get some work done. They never respond when I try to follow up. They say they're busy until December. I get in touch during December and they never respond. I get fed up and decide screw it, I'm doing my own work on the setting. I explicitly tell them this. I explicitly say I'm not taking over. I'm doing my own, and then we can combine them. The first thing I did was go to notes on Google Drive because they refuse to work in anything I can see out of fear of me shooting them down and take the things they had written so I could ensure whatever I do still includes their pre-existing work. They finally come back from the void a week ago, and when I ask if we can finally discuss their work, they brush me off again. They say they don't want to talk in the server because, once again, someone daring to say yeah, let's not go with this is apparently too much for them. I respect that wish, but want to include some other people who should probably know about the setting. I tell them beforehand, so I'm not blindsiding them. I message them today since they're apparently on break from school. They brush me off again. Both by saying tomorrow when they should be free today and by saying I'm busy tomorrow, so I'm just going to drop what I've done then. I then say we'll talk today, so that's fine. They say they're busy today. I say drop it today. They say it's not done yet. I try to see what they did do, and they again just say I'm getting my way. I'm not going to send what I currently have. I'm sending it tomorrow, as if I haven't been keeping you waiting for over half a year. They then ranted about me being a tyrant, basically said they had already stopped caring about the project, and then insulted me by basically calling me a no-life who didn't have their priorities in order. They also tried to say they disliked decisions I was making on the plot, when I have final say in it, and I rejected suggestions they were making that would screw with the characters, and rejecting said idea is the only way not to bastardize them. Again, that's per the agreement we came to. A tyrant wouldn't try to compromise with people. A tyrant wouldn't wait over 6 months of no contact to wait for you to actually be available to work because I'd feel bad about axing you if you actually did care and were just super busy. A tyrant wouldn't let you insult them. A tyrant wouldn't stop themselves from blowing up at you for disappearing for more than 7 months so as to avoid escalating things further. A tyrant wouldn't go to the person who is actually in charge and just suggest they speak to you to let you decide if you still want to be on board. A tyrant would have just kicked you, blocked you, and removed the parasite from the project. I clearly care about this project and am upset about someone being missing in action for months. I more or less run the project by managing the other members, trying to recruit more, making sure people have their questions answered, and making sure work gets done. I am constantly open about my ideas so that other people can see them and comment if they have any problems. How is any of that the actions of a tyrant? A tyrant would have gotten rid of them ages ago. How is a tyrant the person who wants to compromise and not the person who has a tantrum whenever I don't want to just roll over and give you what you want? Mind you, all of this because I felt bad about kicking them out of working on the plot since it hadn't been assigned to anyone and I asked for it. Hence, how I fucked up by trying to be nice. Dr. In charge of writing for a fan project. Tried to work with someone who had made some suggestions for I was given that job because I'd have felt bad otherwise. For nearly 2 years they've made my life hell by being the most unpleasant teammate I've ever had, but try to paint me as the bad guy.